They say that when life hands you lemons, you should make lemonade. But what happens if you prefer orange juice instead? So it is very early on a Sunday morning, and I am heading to the southern part of Norway, to Stavanger, to go and lead a workshop. So I'm waiting for my first train. This train is going to take me to Oslo, and then from Oslo I have another train to Stavanger. Altogether, it's going to take me 12 hours to get to Stavanger. And I don't know why they didn't book me on a plane that's going to take 45 minutes. But anyway, I'll be recording my trip. First train is arriving. My goodness, if it goes any slower, it's going to go backwards. Nobody leaving the train, nobody else on the station. I'm going to be the only person on this train. Cool. Charging ports, little table, and a whole train just for me. Oslo station, waiting for the next train, which will be in 2 hours' time. The train for Stavanger is just pulled in, sitting all the way. No sleeping cars. So sometimes things just don't go according to plan, no matter how detailed your planning might be. And there's nothing you can really do about it if it's because of circumstances out of your control, like this coronavirus pandemic. But I have to show you how my avocados are doing. This is the new shoot that had started just before I came from Portugal. These are the two plants which had died and didn't look like they were going to recover, that have recovered. But look at these. Amazing. We still have my deformed plant, which seems to survive. I don't know how, but look at these. You can see Norwegian fall or autumn is starting, the trees are starting to have a change of color in the leaves. Temperature has definitely dropped, and we're getting rain, a little bit of rain most evenings. But what I have here on the windowsill is I am experimenting now with growing seeds, germinating seeds with wet paper towel and in a bag. So my idea was to germinate these seeds before going to Portugal for our October break, but at this stage Norway's still got Portugal in red, so I might end up with germinated seeds if this works and not go to Portugal in October. Sad, sad, sad. So in my obsession with ordering seeds, I ordered some Jerusalem artichoke tubers. But now I'm not going to be going to Portugal to be able to plant them. So I'm going to see if I can somehow or other store them. So we've grown so well, I think some of us need to go into bigger pots. That's today's plan. So the interesting thing is these artichoke tubers cost me £17 and 70, I don't know, do they use cents? But yeah, that's what it cost me, and that included shipping. But to fetch it from the post office here in Norway, they charged me £30 import duty. So I paid £30 import duty on an item that cost £7.70 with £10 shipping. How the hell does that work? And because Norwegian Post took a while to contact me, some of them are going moldy already. So I'm going to sort them out, throw away the moldy ones, and try and see if I can store the ones that are not moldy, so that I haven't paid £30 import duty for nothing. But I'm not going to be able to. My plan was to plant them now in October, but that's not going to be able to happen. So I'm going to try and store them over the winter. You can make the most detailed of plans, but then sometimes things happen that are just not in your control, and there's nothing you can do about it. That has got to be one of the most frustrating things ever. So I've sorted through these Jerusalem artichoke tubers. Some of them are starting to grow already. I need to just check online and see if I must remove these little eyes or whatever they're called coming out. I've only got a few that are a write-off. These others, I think I can just maybe cut away some of the moldy bit. And I'm going to do a little bit of research now to see how to store them for the winter. I removed the shoots from some of these because I don't want them to start growing. I want to see if I can store them. And I've sorted out and thrown out all the ones that were going moldy, and I've cut off the moldy pieces of some others, and I have put like a layer of moist soil in the bottom of this box, and now I'm going to lay them down carefully in this box, in the soil. And then what I will do is I'm going to cover them with another layer of moist soil. In my research, this seems to be how you store these for winter. And I will then put it in the outside storeroom, which will hopefully start getting quite cold as winter approaches here in Norway. Apparently you can store them in this way for about 5 months, so we shall see. And I'm now going to put another layer of soil on top, and then the next layer of tubers. Right, thin layer of soil on top of that layer of the tubers, and now I am going to put in the next layer. Second layer of tubers is in. Now I'm going to cover the whole layer with this moist soil that I've got, and then I'll close up the box and put it in the storeroom. All covered up. I have no idea if this is going to work, but if we don't try, we'll never know. So I have searched all over Norway almost, to try and find plastic plant pots. So eventually, yesterday I went to IKEA to go and look there. They didn't have what I wanted anyway. But they had these plastic waste paper bins, which were very cheap. And all I've done is I've made a hole in the bottom of each one. And I'm going to use these to put my avocados in, the ones that are growing so nicely, because I think they're getting a bit root bound. So this is how in South Africa we say a boer maak 'n plan. Basically, a farmer makes a plan, and that's what we're going to do. Busy repotting these avocados into much bigger pots, and just as well because their roots were coming out. These are the size pots that I had. I'll put it down there. I don't know if you see the difference in size. So the roots were starting to come out of the bottom, and you can see some of the roots even coming on the top. I don't have enough soil. I'm going to have to get more soil. And I'm going to do this one as well, because if you look, there, look at the roots coming out at the bottom of the container. Avocado transplanting day. This is the extent of my indoor garden at the moment. So we have deformed plant. This one needs to get replanted. This is the one that died and then came to life. The other one also died, came back to life. I need to get more soil. This one I was going to throw out because I had planted it before the summer holidays, because it had some roots going, and then nothing happened, and as I was going to throw it out, it suddenly started growing. And these are just some of the cuttings that have started roots. Others didn't look like anything was going to happen, so I've just thrown them out. This one is already getting a new shoot, so that's a good sign. I definitely need to get more soil for the new big pots. And yeah, that's my garden. We'll see whether the seeds that are in the bags are going to start germinating, because then I'm going to have to put them in pots as well. So, which brings me to the big disappointment. So my grand plan had been that I was going to be going to Portugal the 3rd of October. But unfortunately, the universe lined up a whole lot of things, which is making this not possible. The first thing is Lufthansa cancelled the flight yet again and rebooked me on a different flight a day or so earlier, which I won't be able to take because I'll still be working. The second thing is Portugal, along with the rest of Europe's coronavirus cases, are rising again, and Norway has put most of Europe into red, so it means I would have to do a 10-day quarantine on my return, and seeing as the holiday is only 10 days long, that puts a little bit of a spanner in the works. And then number 3, my residence card for Norway expires next week, and although my resident permit has been granted, because of the virus, they are limiting the amount of people who go into the police station to get their photograph taken for their new residence cards. And so the earliest, remembering that we are only in the middle of September now, the earliest I can get an appointment for a photograph to be taken at the police station for my new residence card is the 18th of November. So, as I said, The universe has lined up all these things. Very disappointing. I was going to plant pastures. I was going to start work on the cottage. I have got Frank the Digger booked to come and clean out the wells, so I'm going to probably still go ahead with that. I was going to organize the picking of my olives and the pruning of the trees, but I'm not going to be able to do that either. But you know, things like this happen in life, and I'm just going to look after my plants. That's all I can do. Let's hope they adjust to their new pots. I hope so, because they are much bigger than before. So I'll stay in my dark little cave and wish everybody health, happiness, and be safe. And if you can like, subscribe, and comment below, that will really help an old lady grow her channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next adventure.